Hey guys, welcome to the video. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive on GAN earnings. The stock dropped a ton after hours after the earnings report came out, but I'm going to tell you guys why I'm super bullish on these earnings. I'm super excited. There was great results. I'm going to take you guys through the whole earnings report. I'm going to show you guys my bullish takes. They made a deal with PENN National Gaming, that's huge. Their deal with FanDuel is still together. So I'm super bullish on these earnings and I expect some crazy gains to come. And I'll let you guys know if I'm going to be loading up on this stock tomorrow. So let's get into it. Alright, first of all, I'm going to talk about GAN's business as a whole, and then I'll get into the earnings call, and then I'll get into the social research, which is the aspect that I'm super bullish on. Alright, so as we know, GAN is the #1 online gaming platform in America. They pretty much provide the software behind the scenes for gaming. They provide the software for FanDuel, provided the software for a few other companies, and also they recently made a deal with PENN National Gaming, ticker symbol PENN. So this is going to be a big boost for that stock, and I'll get into more of that in a few minutes. But I love this business model. I love how it's online gaming. I think this type of industry is just going to blow up. Sports betting as a whole is going to blow up, and yeah, GAN is one of my favorite stocks in the market. So as you can see, this is what GAN offers to their customers. So pretty much a company will use GAN if they don't want to provide their own software behind the games. So for FanDuel, they don't want to pay all that extra money to have their own software, to run their own software and do all that behind their betting app. So they use GAN, they pay GAN, and GAN runs everything from them, takes a fee, makes a lot of money from it, and it's low overhead costs for GAN just because it's seamless integration. It's pretty awesome. As you can read, they have the Sense 3, the GameStack, the iBridge, and the iSight. I'll get into their games that they offer in a second, but GameStack is the biggest one out of these four. Alright, so let's take a look at all the casino, table games, and casual games that GAN offers. As you can see, they have a big list of them. So a bunch of different options, and it's cool because it's online casino games and it's online betting games and stuff like that. So it's just easy money for the business and an industry that I think is gonna blow up. So GAN came out with earnings today after market close, and they have the earnings call tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So they underperformed expectations, but the outlook they gave, this gives me confidence. I do believe that GAN sandbagged earnings, which I'll get into more what that means in just a second. But as you can see, this is just an overall statement that they gave, nothing really to it. I'll get into the exact numbers right now. So this is what caused the stock to drop, the initial numbers. As you can see, they underperformed the 9.6 million projection of revenue, and they got 7.7 million. So 7.7 compared to 9.6, that was an underperform. They did have a 108% year-over-year increase in real money internet gaming. 63% a year-over-year increase in RMIG service revenue to increase 1.5 million. The U.S. accounted for 81% of revenue, so that means they have room to go into other countries, go into other locations, and keep on growing as a company. And the adjusted EBITDA was 2.6 million. So this is a crazy growing company. They did sandbag earnings. I'll get into more of sandbagging in a second. But I'm super bullish on this stock. If this stock drops tomorrow, which it does look like it's dropping after hours, I did buy some after hours, and I will load up on this stock even heavier if this stock is down tomorrow, because I think the actual earnings call, which is tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern time, this is going to blow this stock up. This is going to hype investors up even more. Any price below 20, any price in the 20s, the low 20s, this is gold, and I think this is going to be a $40 stock before the end of the year. So here's some more info about the revenue of GAN. You can look through that real quick. It just kind of shows about the patent that they have, which is big. I'll talk about the patent more in a second. But it's essentially a patent that allows GAN to provide the software, and nobody else can provide the same software that GAN uses. So this gives them protection as a company, and also gives them high upside that some companies may need to pay them, may need to use them for this software that they have the patent for. This is the overview for the events that happened this past earnings. So in January 2020, they got a new gaming client, the Indian tribe. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name, but the Squalicabee Casino located out of Seattle. The casino features a 51,000 square foot gaming floor, offering 54 classic tables and 1,700 slot machines, and is a sponsor and branding partner of the Seattle Seahawks, which is an NFL team, which is a big brand, and the fact that GAN is working with them, that is big as well. They work with FanDuel, they work with Kewooden Casino Properties, and the Cordish gaming companies as well, as you can read. So yeah, there's a bunch of deals they have going for them. I'll talk about the PENN National Barstool Sports app deal in a second, as well as the FanDuel. One thing that worried me about this earnings call was I was worried that they were going to announce the termination of their deal with FanDuel. There was no news about this at all, but I had speculation that, if they say this, the stock is going to get cut in half. Thank God they didn't say it, so that means the deal is still going strong. I don't know how long this will potentially last, but I still do like the company long term, even if the FanDuel deal falls apart. But so a very good thing that happened at earnings is nothing was announced with FanDuel, so that means they're still going strong. They're not about to terminate the deal, so I'm very bullish on that news. So check out this table. I looked up all the numbers for the last 5 months from the Pennsylvania and New Jersey gaming commissions. Despite going against January sports wagers on the Super Bowl, the total internet gaming is at 85% of quarter one totals with a month left and up 28% on a monthly average basis. This stock is growing like crazy. You cannot value the stock correctly just because of the plain growth potential that it has. I think it should be valued in the 30s. The market cap is tiny compared to DraftKings, which is 11 billion. This stock is like 400 or 600 million. So there's crazy high upside. This stock is gonna be huge. I'm calling it now. 40 plus before the end of the year. Buy now. Let's get into the social research aspect of this company. So this tweet summarizes my thoughts exactly on these earnings. This tweet says GAN Limited sandbagged earnings. Also didn't include April and May in earnings, and they didn't increase guidance since they already most of the way through this quarter. GAN did pretty good. So what sandbagging means for earnings is CEOs will sandbag earnings, which makes analysts project their future outlook to be lower. So then the CEO can outperform expectations much easier. So for example, GAN, they took out April and May and didn't include it. These were probably very good months, and they left it out, and they left their earnings with very disappointing earnings with the 7 million figure compared to the 9 million figure that they were expecting. So they must have had very good results in April and May. They didn't include it in this earnings. They're saving it for next earnings to outperform expectations like crazy. So I will be super duper bullish on GAN's next earnings. And GAN did very good in this earnings. No bad news came out. The estimates were over, so that's not good. But the fact that GAN just put in their bad quarters, they didn't include the substantial quarters, that would make a difference. This is what we need to realize. The stock may go down. This should just be a buying opportunity. This is another great tweet. So GAN only took earnings until March 31st. They did not talk about any earnings after March 31st, and this is when the stock has blown up. This is when I've been super bullish after March 31st. This is when their performance has been the best, in my opinion. And just wait, this sports hasn't even started yet. Once the NFL, the MLB, the NBA start and come back, this stock's going to blow up. People are going to need this software behind their betting spaces. And yeah, this is just going to be a huge stock. And buy the dip, buy the dip. So looking at this tweet just further says that after March 31st, GAN made a ton more deals with big casino brands, with big companies. And after the 31st, none of these was counting in the earnings. So once again, the CEO is sandbagging earnings. They're getting ready for next quarter to destroy next quarter. As you can see, the legalization is probably going to come soon pretty fast within the next few years, and that's another very bullish point. Very high upside for this stock. And focusing on the future, not the past, this is what you need to do with this stock. The growth potential is massive, and this is just probably my favorite stock in the market right now. So looking at this tweet says, and now that we have New Jersey and Pennsylvania, here are the overall numbers for GAN, real money gaming business. May was up 13.4% from April, and up a slightly insane 209% from the December figure. So these were not counted on this current quarter's earnings call, but they will be counted on the next quarter. So these earnings will be absolutely huge. They're going to destroy next earnings. I'm calling it now. And yeah, the earnings outcome was not right for GAN. This was sandbagged earnings. Do not read into the estimates. Do not read into all that revenue crap. Read into this. Read into the real figures and look deeper beyond just the numbers. And you'll find all this stuff that is just straight up bullishness for GAN. So I was stalking this Twitter argument, and this guy was saying GAN has the patent on transferring gambling rewards between online app and physical casinos. Alright, so this is one of my favorite things about the company, the patent that they have. The patent that they have to protect their business. This ensures their high upside and lowers their risk, so nobody's going to take over this business. They have their moat already built out for them. They already secured this patent, which is the number one thing for this business, for the future growth potential. Nobody can take their customers unless the companies build their own software. So GAN is loaded up, ready to go, and take over the future of online gaming. So this is the huge news for this earnings. So GAN signed PENN National Gaming on their sports gambling platform, Barstool Sports app. This is the app that I'm super excited about. I've been investing in PENN because I believe this app will be released in Q3, and we'll talk more about that in future videos. But in the earnings call, they said, "We are pleased to announce new simulated gaming client wins, PENN National Gaming and the Indian Tribe," which I talked about earlier. So PENN National Gaming, simulated gaming client, this refers to like if somebody was to bet on esports. So if two players were playing Madden, and then people wanted to bet on the game through GAN, so they would do that, and through the PENN National Barstool Sports app. So this is huge news. This secures them with FanDuel, secures them with PENN, plus all their other smaller brands such as the Indian Tribe. So this is a big move. This is gonna hype the stock up. There's gonna be growth potential, and this company just has so much growth potential. It's insane. I'm super bullish on the stock. It is once again my biggest holding, and once again will be increasing my position even more. I'm highly leveraged into this position, and I'm very excited. And once again, I do see 40 plus sometime this year once things fully realize. So this is the last tweet that I'm talking about today. So the big thing you need to watch with earnings is guidance. Usually revenue numbers will not matter that much, but guidance, this is the future, and the stock market trades on future expectations. So if they had a bad quarter, so what? They had a bad quarter, but in the future, they're going to have some crazy growth, some crazy earnings. After the sandbagged earnings, we already know that they're going to outperform the next earnings like crazy, as we talked about earlier in the video. And so you just need to go into earnings knowing if the stock's overvalued, undervalued, what's expected, and know the guidance. The guidance is the most important key to watch for in any earnings, and whether or not for you to buy into this stock, you need to look at guidance. Alright, so I'm going to get into two more stocks real quick. I promise a stock group, if you're interested in joining, check the link below. It's only $4.99 a month, but I promise a stock group that I talk about these stocks real quick, give them my quick thoughts, quick opinion on these stocks for tomorrow. So getting to tvix, this doubles the VIX indicator, which is the fear indicator of the market. So the futures are pretty red right now. So in that case, it means we should open red and the fear should grow. So I'm looking at TVX as a day trade tomorrow. This stock, this position could have a 30-40% jump tomorrow. I would not hold this overnight if you're doing this, but this could have day trade potential and day trade upside. I would stay away from buying in heavy. I would make a small speculative position on this TVIX stock. It's just very, very risky, but there is day trade easy upside potential on this one. Alright, and GNUS Brands, ticker symbol GNUS. This is an interesting one, guys. Honestly, I don't know what to think of this. I have heard some pretty solid things about this, and the fact that Arnold is a big investor as well, that boosts the stock as well. But I am very scared to put a lot of money in the stock. Let me tell you why. So this stock has lost its glistening, it's lost all its shininess. It's not a new stock anymore. It's not the new hype stock anymore. And the big play that I was in this for was the pure hype. Is this company, GNUS Brands, really going to outdo Netflix? Really going to compete with Hulu? Really going to compete with these big brands? Is the content good enough? I'm not sure. I have not looked deep enough into the content. I do have a small speculative position on GNUS Brands, but I will not be putting a lot of money in this one. I don't know what to think of the company. A bunch of the hype is gone. So we're going to need to see some actual great performance, some actual great earnings to move the stock now, which is why I only have a small position in it. I'm not expecting to make any gains on this. It's just a stock that I made 700% in the past, so I'm confident in just putting my money in it. I do like the business. I've looked deep into it, but I don't know how it's going to perform with kids. So that's the reason I'm not super bullish on GNUS brands, but I do have a small position, just seeing where it goes. If you love this company, if your kids love this, yeah, put a lot of money in it if you like it, because it does have some crazy high upside potential. But be aware that the hype is gone. The glimmer of the new stock, the new hype stock, that's gone. So now they got to perform. So be aware of that for GNUS brands. Alright guys, I took you through the full earnings report on GAN. I took you guys through knowing what to look for earnings, taught you guys what sandbagging is, so that's super important to know for future earnings calls. And so just know that big earnings plays play on future guidance. I'm not worried about the past revenue for GAN. I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at the crazy growth potential. This stock can't even be fairly valued because if it's gonna grow 200% this year. It's gonna grow 200% next year. Once it picks up new clients, once sports starts back up, this revenue is gonna go through the roof. This guidance is gonna go through the roof. This growth rate is gonna go through the roof. So I'm super bullish on GAN, my #1 stock in the market now, once again, and my #1 biggest position in this. I have over 200 shares, and I have a couple call options on this, so I'm super bullish. My actions do speak for themselves on this one. So if you're interested, the link down below is for Webull. Get your 2 free stocks. Get your free stocks before this promotion ends. It ends at the end of June. So even if you don't like Webull, get your 2 free stocks. Take your $20 out, move it to your regular broker, and boom, just free money. Can't go wrong with it. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck tomorrow in the market. Let me know if you need anything, and let's get rich.